Hello.
And we're back. Okay, so I'm so lazy that I told Rachel, I'm like, we should change for this one. And then I'm like, I'm just gonna put this sweater over a sweater. So this is hideous. It's just a massive cardigan and I put it over a sweater.
She's like, it looks like my obese father's sweater.
Yeah, it does. Cardigan. If he was old and fat, and he's not. Not really.
Really?
I didn't mean that badly. Okay, so before we forget, no, Steve is not. Subscribe, like. Oh, we want to start asking, because last year we did a Q&A basically, and we had some viewers like questions of us, like, are your boobs real? Do you have hair extensions? Real? Yes. So we would like to do another one. So please, questions that you have for us.
Post your questions or what you want tips about.
Yes.
If you have any tips,
we just basically want feedback. So we're not talking to ourselves completely.
But today's Tip Tuesday is all about oak cabinets and
and this is what my old house, I redid my oak cabinets, and now Rachel has redone her oak cabinets as well. So we both have experience, and you can't just have a little bit of experience when you redo oak cabinets. You have a lot of experience because it takes a lot of work and a lot of time. Mine took 3 years. Now, that's because I took some breaks.
A little bit of breaks.
Yeah, but there's that. So what is our advice on oak cabinets?
If you want to refinish your oak cabinets,
so take them from oak to white,
or
black, or
gray,
navy,
or whatever.
Yeah.
If you want to paint your oak cabinets, my tip would be hire someone.
I 100% second that.
Hire someone is my tip.
Because even if you think it's going to be a lot easier than it's not. It's not. And I filled the grain in mine, right? Which was a terrible idea. So they looked amazing after, but it's a process, right?
It's more steps.
So Rachel did not fill the grain in. They look great. However, I thought, well, she's not going to fill in the grain, so this will be easier. No, that's
really.
it's still really freaking hard.
You have to clean them all. The first step, scrub everything, get all the junk, grease, stuff off.
Don't say you don't need to clean because you're going to sand, because when you sand, you're just going to be pushing that grease into the cabinet. Yeah. It's not going to come off. You have to clean first.
Yes. Clean and then sand like the shiny lacquer off.
The varnish.
Clean them again because it's dusty.
Yeah.
And then prime them. And
prime again.
Yeah, probably 2 coats of primer, and then sand again. Sand any more drips. Then clean after you sand again. And then I had to do 4 coats of primer on mine. So
and I even had to go buy her emergency primer.
Yeah, then I did a 4th coat with a different primer.
Because her primer was not cut. Because the oak cabinets have such a strong flash. Like,
that's showing through yellowy orange.
Yeah,
through
it's
3 coats of primer.
Yes.
Only in weird, it was weird.
It is. It's the way oak, it tries to come through, and you will get spots of yellow and orange, and it doesn't look good. So there's lots of priming and sanding and cleaning, and then it's finally time for the paint.
You need at least 2 coats of paint. So.
And then you might have to sand
in
between.
Have like grooves, on your cabinets and stuff, and they're not just like flat cabinets. You get lots of drips and stuff, so you gotta be very careful.
People who have totally flat cabinets probably don't have oak cabinets, because that was no longer the style. So
our number 1 tip is to hire someone.
My number 2 tip, let's say like you're going to buy a new house and you love the house except for the oak cabinets, and you're like, I'll just redo them, or I'll hire somebody to redo them. Buy a different house. Because you can't hire nobody will take on a job if you expect them to fill the grain. You cannot hire anybody to fill the grain. Well, they won't do it.
And so we did get quotes on having someone else do it.
But they wouldn't fill in the grain. It was just
and I asked what their steps and processes were. None of them would fill the grain. But so we had quotes ranging from like $8,000, and then almost one was
20 or just under.
It was $22,000 for our whole kitchen. For what that company quoted, but 8 of it was just painting the cabinets.
Yeah.
8 or 9, and then $4,000 another quote. Then we had this quote for $1,800
And that's
painter guys.
And that's when I told Rachel, I said, yes, take it. Do it.
So I was like, yep, it's done.
And so we started prepping for them to come and do it.
And then they flaked and were like,
it was weird.
Basically backed out of doing it. Maybe because they realized they quoted us so cheap. I don't know. Yeah. And then we got another one, 3,200. Billy, remember he quoted in the middle of the job?
After you were halfway done. She was halfway done.
They actually quoted it before 3,200, like when the first day I was going to start. And then Billy said, how much would it cost us just for you to finish what my wife's done? Because I was getting sick of after 5 days straight, 14-hour days painting and shit.
And
they said 3,200 still just to finish. I'm like, it only needs paint. Like, I've sanded, I've primed, I've cleaned.
No. And this is the thing. I take a lot of responsibility into this because when her first painters flaked out, right? I had already done this. And I'm like, Rachel, let's just suck it up and buckle down and get it done.
We're not going to feel the grain. This will be easier.
Exactly. And she, literally an hour later, she was in Home Depot getting everything I told her to get, right? So, yeah. And Billy was out of town that weekend, too.
So I had the girls by myself.
Had all the cabinets off. This was on a Saturday. By Monday morning, all the cabinets had been off. They were sanded, everything. So then I start helping her Monday, and I leave around 2 or 1:30. We had an orthodontist appointment, right? So then I go to I'm sick. I get sick.
You don't come back.
I can't come back. I can't come back until, I think it was Friday. And then I could only stay a couple of hours because I was going to shit myself. Literally. And she had like one of Billy's employees were there helping us. And I'm like, well, I can't shit myself in front of him. So it was my fault. I talked her into this and then I shit myself. So just
you did.
happen.
You thought you were. So
yes.
You
but I'm just saying, yes, I shit.
But I got it. And so that was the week before Super Bowl, and we were supposed to have a Super Bowl get together on Sunday. So I started Saturday, and I had to have the whole house put back together. And I even told her, I said, Rachel,
don't have people over in the middle of a kitchen remodel.
On Thursday, I was like, we have to come up with a plan B. It's not going to be done. It's not going to be done. And I don't know how I pulled it off.
She did, and they look great. And we are going to have a full episode dedicated to her remodel. But we want to wait till it's totally done and it's getting there. Her countertops are beautiful. I love them.
Countertops are in, cabinets are painted. The interior is now painted. We have flooring and
light fixture and backsplash.
Oh, yeah. I keep forgetting.
We are going to put in the backsplash.
I think.
Yeah, I don't want to mess up those countertops. I wouldn't even trust work. Like, I wouldn't trust anybody. What if, you know what I mean? That's,
okay. Anyways,
so.
Tip 2 is wrong.
Yes. Remember,
hire someone.
Give us your questions. Yes. Remember, oak cabinets, either don't buy the house, and if that's not an option, hire somebody. Yeah. That is it. Bye-bye.
Bye.